Hey, good morning, everyone. Yeah, sorry for being late.
No worries.
Good morning, Jen.
Good morning. Yeah. So thanks for bringing up the Etherpad, Sunny. Let's take a look on today's agenda. So we have OCP, Open Source Summit in EU, and hackathon planning on the agenda. Anything else? Just do a agenda bash.
Yeah, maybe the SONiC India conference. I know it's coming up in September.
Yeah. We don't have a share here, but
Okay.
yeah, we can see what we can cover. Yeah.
I think we do have Emily on the call. I know Emily was working closely with Ashay, so there might be some CFP updates on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. How about let's get started?
Sweet.
All
right.
Open source. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So perfect. So this is the other than the India meetup, this is the second upcoming event SONiC community has, the one at Open Source Summit EU. So I know this is the only European-based event that we will have this year for SONiC, and Heidi and I actually did some just cost and benefit analysis on what would happen if we host or sponsor a SONiC booth at the Open Source Summit EU, just given that this is the only event that we're hosting in Europe, in EU this year. So if we actually pay for a bronze sponsorship, which includes a tabletop booth, a 6 feet wide table, and lady retrieval device, and so those are all the membership benefits, it's actually cheaper to sponsor a booth than not sponsoring, just because of all the benefits that we're receiving. And also all Linux Foundation projects receive 50% off in terms of sponsorship as well. So which is why I want to bring this up to the outreach meeting today, that before we move forward with a sponsorship or not, I want to gather any feedback. And I personally think it seems like a no-brainer to sponsor, to pay for a sponsorship, since it's cheaper, giving all the benefits. And especially we're covering all the speakers registration as well, and we'll get some of the free passes from the sponsorship too. So yeah, I just want to open up the floor and see if folks have any feedback or comment on this one. If we can sponsor a booth at Open Source Summit EU.
Do you mind to remind how much it costs to sponsor the brochure?
Yeah, so let me pull it up really quick. So 1 second. So if we like to sponsor a bronze, the full price will be $8,000, and 50% off will be $4,000 for us. And because we will receive let's see, 20% off unlimited registration discount that we can distribute to all the attendees, and I think 3 free passes as well, and post-event data report, and so on. So all of those actually added up will cost more than $4,000. So that kind of offset of our sponsorship. And most importantly, if we're just going to host the co-locate event without the booth sponsorship, we will not be able to purchase a lead retrieval device, which is kind of crucial for us to get the leads from the attendees and who are interested in SONiC, that we can follow up with SONiC resources after event, or follow up for SONiC member sponsorship, membership, and so on. So I think that's one of the biggest benefits for me.
Yeah, how about the everyone in the meeting? So this is not necessary to have a workshop, right? This is only for a booth.
Correct. Yes. The workshop will happen on the last day of Open Source Summit EU. So the booth will just be during the whole time, September 16th to 18th.
Yeah.
The workshop is on the 19th. Yeah. So it doesn't clash with the workshop. Actually, it might be a good marketing venue to promote a workshop at the main event before the workshop date.
Anyone has any opinion or thoughts? Do we have anyone, Sunny, in Europe to host it, or if we don't have member companies to host it, will Linux Foundation staff be able to make it?
Yeah, so first I will be at the event, so I'll be attending the booth and helping with the workshop. And secondly, as a part of the booth process, a booth demo process, we will actually integrate that with our CFP process. So when people submit their CFP, they will have a drop-down menu of, do you want to submit a talk at SONiC workshop, or do you want to submit a booth demo proposal at SONiC booth? So those will be the same landing page, and will hopefully to streamline the whole CFP process coupled with demo proposal for booth.
Yeah, that sounds great. We do have multiple members has a footprint in Europe. I feel that can also help out. Yeah,
I agree. I think a couple of board members are there as well.
Anyone has an opinion or would like to speak up on this?
Sorry, I'm just jumping in here, Lee, but sounds like it's an $8,000 probably all in when you consider it, other than people travel. I think it's a good investment. I think you need some exposure in Europe. And I think it's a pretty minimal investment when you're considering a booth and a workshop combo. You're there anyways, and it's a great way to, cross promote and
Thanks,
Yeah, I
Vicky.
agree with that. I echo the thoughts here, shared by Vicky. I think seeing a good traction, good awareness coming up in SONiC in the EU region. So this event and engagement.
Yeah, do agree with both of you, Sarab and Vicky. Yeah. Hi, Eval. You are here, and I think you folks are in Europe.
I am in Europe. I mean, I tend to agree. Each exposure is a good exposure. Only thing that I'm debating with myself is that it's quite close to the OCP. And specifically for OCP, coming from the NVIDIA side, there are going to be many sessions that we submitted. Not sure what is the role of the SONiC workshop 1 month before. Do we plan to have like the same workshop, or do we expect to have different sessions? Because it's very close to the main one. So
yeah, I think we are aiming to have different sessions, and especially for people who are attending SONiC workshop at OCP Global Summits. I believe last year most of the attendees are from North America. So we're hoping the Open Source Summit EU will be more targeted to SONiC community who are based in the EU region, just because the company travel budget is still pretty tight for quite a few member companies right now.
Ask this question, Sunny. If we don't get like as many submission to the workshop as expected, right? What could happen? Can we cancel the workshop? Just keep the booth?
Yes, yeah, we can do that. We can definitely keep the booth, and I believe the deadline to cancel the workshop without any charges August, mid of August. I have on my calendar, August 22nd. So that would be, I was going to dive into the CFP proposed the timeline that we proposed, but we can quickly go through that now. So we can open up the CFP for SONiC workshop today, and then close it about after a month on July 21st. And then we can have the CFP review period from July 2nd to July 28th. A week should be sufficient for based on the usual LF CFP events, CFP timeline. And so all of those should, we will have a really good idea on the agenda and the CFP before the deadline in terms of if we want to cancel the workshop. And we can, of course, keep the booth even if we cancel the workshop.
Okay.
So we will have visibility to both workshop submissions because we open it today to both of them.
Correct. Yeah, that's the plan. Unless if we have
And
any
in
objections.
what country is the European one?
Austria, Vienna, Austria.
Thanks for like planning through this, Sunny. Yeah, I think I'm also for it with the to boost the visibility in Europe and to help people like get connected with SONiC community presentations and booths to be like to have the have it in the Europe summit is great. The only thing I worried is the workshop we might not have that many attendees or submissions. The same reason as what Eva was saying, it's very close to OCP, but we giving that the time, we have plenty of time to see the interest, right? From the CFP. I feel it's a good approach that we should go forward.
Yeah, I agree, and especially
if a participant had to choose one to attend, I assume OCP is more important, at least from my perspective.
I'm not sure how does it work. People choose one eval. I mean, usually company is okay for people to attend the different different conferences. Of course, because of the
proximity is very
yeah, it's very close. Yeah, we will see. We will see if any interest. How's the interest? How much interest the people shows to the Europe one. Yeah.
And I feel it's not one versus another.
Yeah.
It's more of a global theater enablement. So this event is happening in Europe, OCP is happening in Santa Clara, North America. Since travel is a challenge and everybody's operating at budget constraints on travel.
Yeah.
I think most of the organizations have the global presence, and people who are in Europe could participate in the event locally, and then those who are who can travel or are in North America could do OCP. SONiC is expanding in Europe. I think this would be it'd be good to have that.
Yeah. I feel the key here is to find one or two companies outside in addition to LF staff, right? Also being able to help there. The Open Source Summit EU. We could ask also in the TSC meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have staff there. I think that it's just two different audiences. You're gonna get people that can travel and they'll come to the global OCP, and then you'll get, I'm sorry, I've been on mute. I think you're gonna get people that can travel and people who can't. And the folks that
Mhm.
are going in Europe and can't travel, this is a great option. And I'm okay with a little bit of duplicate content as long as it's not, exact, because, again, you're gonna see people live, and I'm better to hit it 1, 2, 3 times with similar messaging than just having to come up with completely unique content. Some people aren't gonna watch the videos. They're gonna be there watching in person.
Mm,
So whatever. Sorry, I was been on mute.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're also paying to get the SONiC workshop session at Open Source Summit EU
Mhm.
recorded as well, so
Mhm.
that we can post it on the YouTube and
Mm.
promote it afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. I think that with this group, I feel that we all feel that it's a good idea to go forward with the SONiC booth plus workshop call for participation at the open source committee, open source summit EU. Yeah. I feel that the booth probably easier, but like that workshop we will see how much interest from the submission. Yeah. But in general, that we feel that it's advantage. I mean, it's a benefit to have the presence there.
Perfect. All right, then me and Heidi can work on the back end in terms of moving this forward, signing the sponsorship for a booth and so on. And we can keep everyone updated on the CIP process along the way. And yeah, hopefully we get enough folks submitted for CIP so that we can host a pretty successful workshop at Open Source Summit EU.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, with that, let's move to the next one. Yeah.
Sweet. This one is a bit similar to the last topic. This is just about the SONiC workshop OCP Global Summit. I believe the CIP for the May summit, the May event, has just closed or is about to close. I think it just closed last week. But we are planning to kick off the CIP this week as well for the SONiC workshop OCP. And this is our proposed CIP timeline. And since this event is just a bit later than the Open Source Summit EU, so we are extending the CIP submission deadline for a bit longer as well. And we're planning to publish the agenda August 20 so that we can have enough time to promote the agenda, promote the event, and so on.
Sunny, I have a question on that one. So so OCP has a networking stream as well. I think there's some CIP submissions that were done for the main event under that category, and I'm not sure, we did a few SONiC submissions there. I think the deadline for some of that selection, I have to check and go back to my notes there. How do we streamline, SONiC sections at the main event? What is the workshop?
Yeah, great questions, Rob. So this is very similar to what we did last year, that the CFPs, sorry, not the CFP, the OCP staff will actually send us all the waitlisted session and rejected session to us. And those CIP proposals will be automatically submitted to our SONiC workshop CIP. So those will be reviewed again. And we also make sure that networking track is not clashing with the time when we host the SONiC workshop as well. So that means we will have a few SONiC sessions at the main event, and then we'll have a dedicated SONiC workshop during the event as well.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just to share, OCP call for submission, deadline was due like last Friday, so it's finished. So it's good that we started the CIP for the workshop.
Sunny,
Awesome. Thank
can
you
you
so
can you
much. I
please
appreciate the time.
repeat? Maybe I missed it about the submission for OCP that you mentioned that will automatically be considered for the SONiC track.
Yeah, happy to. So if you have submitted a session to OCP Global Summit to the networking track around SONiC, and if your session is going to get if your session gets waitlisted or rejected, your CFP session proposal will be submitted to our workshop CFP
I
process.
see.
Okay. Yeah, and that's how we did it last year as well, which is why we I think this OCP Global Summit, this CFP notification goes out sometime right before our submission deadline, so that we're able to, so the rejected speakers will be able to know that, hey, your session is submitted to SONiC workshop, and so those timelines are already communicated with the OCP team already.
Okay.
Great questions.
So looking at our workshop submission, CFP 1 month. I feel that it looks good. Giving enough time, 1 month for people to prepare for the submission, 15 days for the selection, and also 1 month, around more than 1 month for people, for the speakers to prepare for the trip. The only thing I'm thinking is when we do the CFP, we should do the hackathon, like call for participation simultaneously, or we should use a separate form to register for hackathon. I don't remember how we did it last year. Sunny, do you remember?
Yeah, I think last year we used a different timeline because we wanted to have the hackathon right before OCP Global Summit so that we can announce the winner beforehand. So which is why we had the CFP process for SONiC Hackathon like earlier than this drafted timeline. Yeah, and I want to definitely discuss the hackathon timeline as well during this meeting so that we can kick that off pretty soon too.
Yeah.
Oh, and also for last year, the hackathon, we I think we created a Google form for folks to submit their hackathon proposal, which might not be the most efficient way. And I know this year Emily can help us to have a web page and so on.
Yeah. Okay. Any comments? I feel this is a good plan. We need to spend a little bit more time on hackathon, how to organize it. For the CFP, I feel it's pretty standard. Yeah.
Sheen, I assume the hackathon will be as always also virtual, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think it will be very similar to last year, but a few improvement, right? From feedback from last year, we enable people like doing it remotely.
Yeah.
But getting the feedback from last year, like I think we will improve how many teams from one company can participate, and how do we structure the work so that it's really a hackathon project instead of a year-long program. Yeah. That one can be taken care of when we structure the instruction of hackathon. Yeah. Any other thoughts, comments on the CFP process for the workshop? If not, we can launch it. Yeah, I think we should launch it. Yeah.
If no objections, I'll work with Emily on launching it this week, and yeah, keep the community updated, and we'll promote it on social media as well. So I think we can move it to the next agenda item.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But next time, let's talk about the hackathon organization. Yeah, how to organize X. I think we can find that, and also build a timeline and plan how to publish it or call for participation. How about that? Hackathon planning. Leave it to the next meeting.
Yeah, that should work.
The next one is Indian workshop, which is happening soon. Oh, actually, no, the call for participation is extended for July 15th. September 4th, okay. It will be a very busy fall. We have very good registration numbers. CFP, Sunny, 21 means it the deadline was 21 extended to July 15, or we have 21 submissions.
There are 21 submissions.
If we have 21, why was it extended? It's more than enough, no?
It was requested that we extend it for another month.
Is there any visibility to see what was submitted until now?
Yeah, I've also been submitting it to the local team, but I can put the
The
topics.
community, yeah.
Yeah, just a moment. Let me put them in here.
How many get selected?
I don't think we have a final number. I know that they had said they were thinking 10 to 12. Okay, I'm adding them now, but it came across. I just need to add some spaces in here.
I think it's fine. Emily, we will leave this to the committee to do the selection, right? How many we are supposed to have? How many sessions we could have per day during the workshop?
Well, it's only one day.
Mhm.
But I think their intent was to have 10 to 12, but again, maybe they could be adjusting some to lightning talks. There was discussion about adjusting it to 2 days. I don't think that's going to happen at this point, just because people have already registered, but yeah.
Right, okay.
And
Sure.
where in India is this workshop?
I don't remember the detail. Emily, do you remember if it's Hyderabad or Bangalore or?
Looks like it's in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep.
I have no comments. I feel that it's going on well, that it has like enough attention and interest there for people to attend. Looks like it will be another like a successful event.
Shin, don't you have a talk in this workshop?
For Indian workshop?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like we have 21, right? It's more than enough for per day. These are the submissions. Emily was right. Usually per day, the session could be like between 10 to 15, but it depends on how they organize it, right? They could have multiple short lightning sessions if we would like to accommodate more. Yeah, but we will leave to this workshop, Indian workshop committee to decide. Any other comments?
Shin, if we want to arrange, let's call it a meetup, because a workshop is of a higher standard, a meetup in Israel for SONiC folks, what's the process to initiate that if we want to be an official meetup?
That's a newer thing. That I think Sunny or Emily probably can help better. I can share like how this multiple program has started, right? Like Indian workshop, the China workshop. It was discussed like last year when we plan for the next year's event. Of course, that doesn't mean it's too late, right? It depends on if it needs to ask for funding or not. If it requires Linux for the program, the foundation to have funding, it started last year around October time. That's the time when we plan for the next year's funding, and we solicit that what are the potential events and the potential cost, and the plan from there. If a workshop, if it's a meetup, right, and in Israel, we need to have a leader who can help to organize the event, right, and agenda, propose what's the, how do you plan to organize it, what do you plan to achieve, and what's the plan like for example cost, will that be cost or it will be free? I think you can bring it here to have a discussing. Sunny and Emily, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, I agree with you, Xin. And depends on, I know you mentioned that it's more casual than a workshop, but if you're planning to have a call for participation, a call for papers process, and the launching agenda for the meetup, then yeah, we will need to discuss more what the format of the meetup is and how much support that you might need from the foundation.
I think the word casual is the main thing here. We don't want to make it as official as a workshop, but we do want to enjoy some of the sponsorship, at least from the branding. We're not talking about the money side because I don't think it will cost a lot. We will use a site of one of the participants anyway for the meetup itself. So, is there a precedence of a meetup somewhere that we can base on?
I don't believe we have hosted a local meetup before, other than the Indian workshops. We did have a Japan workshop a couple of months ago, but that's not really a meetup. It's more of a workshop as well with sessions.
Right. So far we had 3, right? Sunny, 3 all in workshop format.
Correct. Yes.
And since they asked for funding, that was all reviewed. Those are all reviewed last year. Yeah, during funding, the next year funding planning session. Yeah.
Okay, so let me take it with the ecosystem players here in Israel, and we will come up with an suggestion, and I will bring it here.
That sounds great.
Okay. I think that's all for today's agenda. Anything else to add?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. With that, we can return 15 minutes back to everyone. Yeah. Thanks.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.